Cam inside to Degenhart. Degenhart posting up against Mills. Degenhart having a field day inside. Little layup off the glass and in. Rice up the left side with a dribble. Contact between he and Mills, no whistle. Degenhart, step back three, it's his day. Tyson Degenhart, what a first half.
Welcome back for another edition of Jay's Sports Bar. I'm Jay Tust and joined by Boise State basketball superstar Tyson Degenhart.
Degenhart all alone from three, he can't miss.
How are we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How do you like the title there, man? Is that something that's ever going to grow on you? I know you're a fairly reserved guy, but you are a superstar here in Boise.
It doesn't always feel like I'm a superstar. I expect so much out of myself, but it's definitely an honor to be called that by you.
I feel like you are the Boise State basketball version of Kellen Moore. You're a winner. You've put up big points. That's what I say. I've said that. But I believe it.
If you're putting me in the same sentence as Kellen Moore, I must be doing something right, I guess. It's truly an honor. Like, growing up, I always remember seeing the blue turf and on NCAA football and always playing on it.
Mm-hmm.
And just to be in the same conversation as like one of the winningest quarterbacks in NCAA history is a true honor. So, yeah.
You guys are rolling a bit right now. The last 3 times you guys have competed at Extra Mile Arena, you have won by at least 30. What is it about Extra Mile Arena that's brought out the best in you guys, especially on offense lately?
We just had a really good mindset at home, knowing that we have a real advantage on the inside, scoring on the blocks with Omar and I, and then also just finding Roddy, 12, and Buzo out in the three-point line and then making plays as well. So it's been a real collective effort for us at home, and we just got to keep that thing rolling.
You guys are certainly positioning yourselves to make another run at the NCAA Tournament. And I guess I'm going to say, be honest with me here. When you committed to Boise State, did you think that you would go to the NCAA Tournament in back-to-back years, your first 2 years as a Bronco, and be in a great spot to make it 3 straight years, which has never even been sniffed at Boise State before?
Coming into college, I wanted to go to March Madness at least once. That was one of my goals. And after the Memphis loss, I want to get back because I know we learned so much from that game about not digging ourselves in a hole. We were down they went on like a 19-0 run in that first half, and we cut it to 5 and just battled back, and we kind of showed that we can compete with teams like that. And even after the Northwestern loss, we competed. I mean, we didn't dig ourselves in as big of a hole, but we still dug ourselves. We were down, 8 in the first half. We had to kind of get our feet under us, and those are just learning experiences for this year. And we have the team to do it, and we have this team comprised of multiple guys that have come in and won games in the tournament. I mean, Cam's won a national title at Kansas. Like, he brings that experience, is seeing what it takes to win in March, and I think we've learned a lot these last 2 years, and excited to try to go back there for a 3rd straight time.
And I brought this up to you before, but I noticed after the Memphis game, by the way, I think that was like the second half of that game. I don't know if I've seen a player play harder than a Buki jab the second half of that game. You talk about guys that leave it all out there. I thought they might have to go out there and carry him off the court. He played so hard that second half and almost willed you guys back into that game. But what I wanted to bring up is everybody's kind of walking off the court, and I turn around and I look, and there's a true freshman, Tyson Degenhart, just kind of sitting there looking back out at everything. Like, what was going through your mind in that moment?
It was just kind of soaking it in, getting to a spot and realizing that your freshman season kind of came to an end, and realizing that you won't play with those seniors again. It doesn't really hit you till you hit the locker room, but I was just trying to soak in that moment and realize that I would be back playing in March Madness, and just seeing my family up in the stands, my high school coach, just all the fans, and just trying to soak that in and thanking them for making the trip out, and just be appreciative of the moment. And even though it didn't go our way, just it's a core memory for me, just being in that moment and playing in the biggest tournament in the year. You're
developing a lot of core memories, I would say, at this point in time. Since this is Jay's Sports Bar, by the way, what is your favorite drink? Your drink of choice?
What does that pertain to?
I'm gonna start with.
Because when I hear bar, I think of 21 plus, so I don't know what we're referring to.
We're gonna go both here. So you get done with practice, and you're tired. Whatever. What's that first drink that you reach to?
It's one of 3 things. It's either just a straight water.
Okay.
It's either a Powerade, or it's a protein shake, one of the three.
Okay, but what color for Powerade, what flavor for protein?
Okay, Powerade, it's normally the grape one.
Okay.
For our protein shake, the core Powerade is the chocolate one.
Okay. I'm a big fan of the purple Powerade, by the way. I think that's the number one in my book.
I like purple Powerade in the bottle, but if you go to McDonald's and get the blue Powerade, it just is the number one Powerade, I think, of all time.
In the cup?
Yes.
Oh, out of the fountain?
Yes.
The blue Powerade?
Yes.
What's different about it?
I don't know.
Just
it's like the McDonald's Sprite. Like, McDonald's has the best fountain drinks, I think.
Okay.
Or the Chick-fil-A Powerade. That's good, too.
Okay.
I think blue Powerade out of the fountain, wherever you get it from, either Chick-fil-A or McDonald's, is the best Powerade you could get.
Okay, how about maybe not necessarily after basketball practice, and this can either be above 21 or below 21 in terms of your beverage of choice. It could be, I don't know, cherry Coke for all I care, but what is like I don't know if I should drink it during season or whatever, or we got a bye week. Like what is it that you might spoil yourself with there?
What's funny is I'm actually a cherry Coke fan.
Okay.
I do like that. That'd probably have to be my soda of choice. I'm a big fan of chocolate milk. That's kind of like one of those drinks where I don't like to drink it.
Do you have to say that?
No.
For NIL agreements?
No, I love chocolate milk. If you know me, you know I love my chocolate milk. But I don't drink it as much, just trying to make sure that keep the calorie intake right where I need it to be. And sometimes that chocolate milk, especially the Dairy Gold one from Costco,
okay,
it's pretty calorie heavy, so I try to stay away from it a little bit.
Okay, speaking of that, we've seen a leaner, meaner Tyson Degenhart this year. How many dunks did you have coming into the season in your college career?
I had 2.
You had 2. How many do you have this year?
Pass deflected. Degenhart with the loose ball to Anderson. Degenhart, he'll finish with a two-handed dunk.
I think it's 8.
I was going to say 8 or 9. I couldn't remember.
I think it's 8.
Okay, 8. Had one the other day as well, in front of the home crowd. Another blowout win. What's going on there, man? Are you trying to gear up for a dunk contest, or where has this come from?
Well, from my freshman to sophomore year, I obviously put on 10 pounds to try to, needed to play the 5, and so I did. And now that we have some 5s that can play the 5, and I don't have to really play that, I slimmed down, took about 10 off, and I think I built up a lot of strength going from freshman to sophomore year. Well, I think I maintained that strength from sophomore to junior year, but I also dropped 10 pounds. So I think it's really helped in my, speed and agility and explosiveness. Shout out to Mike Prater for calling me fat.
Wait, did he really?
He said I needed to trim down or slim, or you can read between the lines. He was calling me fat, and he knows it too.
Oh, we are one to speak in the media. Mike's awesome. I'm just kidding. But that's hilarious. So is this intentional though? Now all of a sudden, you see you out on the fast break, and you're like, I used to think go lay it in, and now I think oh man, Tyson's gonna go and pack this thing, and then normally now you do.
I try to. I mean, if it's there for me, I'll definitely go up. I joke with my roommates. I always go with 2 hands because 2 hands for safety, so I can hang on the rim if I need to. I don't like going and dunking it with one hand. It's weird. I feel like I'm going to lose the ball.
Yeah.
You see a lot of people, they miss dunks with one hand a lot more than they miss with 2.
Do you have a one-handed dunk this year?
No.
All of them are 2?
All of them are 2.
Gosh, you're so boring.
I know. I'm very boring.
Have you ever been the troublemaker? Have you ever not been perfect?
Well, when your parents are teachers,
yeah,
it's a little harder because they know all your teachers. And if word gets around, it always ends up back to them. My dad was middle school PE teacher where I went, and so 2 years of that. My mom was a high school math teacher at my high school, so there's 6 straight years of always being looked at. And even in elementary school, my teachers knew my parents knew my teachers, so there was no getting around getting in trouble. They'd find out one way or another.
What is the thing you did when you were young that got you the most severe grounding you've had, the reason behind it? Oh my God, you've never been grounded.
I did. I pushed my sister one time. We were running. I kind of bumped her, and she fell, and I got in trouble for that. That was when I was in elementary school. And
kind of seems like sibling rivalry, but okay.
Yeah, I think we were racing, and I had to make sure I won to assert my dominance.
Oh, Tyson, that's the worst thing you've ever done. I went to the principal's office. I was a pretty good kid too. I went to the principal's office once in my life, and there was a kid named Ashley in my class, and I thought it'd be funny to call him Ashtray, and he didn't like it, and I thought I was just being a little jerk, and so I got sent to the principal's office over that one. So only time in my life, and the best part about that, I got a pink slip, which meant you got 15 minutes of detention after school, and I made a deal with my sister, who's a year older than me. I'm like, hey, we're not going to tell mom or dad about this, right? Like, we're good. Yeah. And she's like, yeah, totally. Moment we open the door, she walks in, Dad, Jay got detention. Yep. So that was like, that's the only time I've ever been to the principal's office. You ever been to the principal's office?
No.
God, of course you haven't.
No.
Real quick, your dad, I've wanted to ask you, where did his name come from? Yukon Degenhart.
Oh, gosh.
That's a pretty cool name.
It's not his birth name, actually.
Oh, it's not? Okay.
No. Birth name was Andrew.
Okay.
I honestly couldn't tell you exactly the origin of it, but people called him Yukon when he was younger, and when he was teaching, he wanted people to call him Yukon, so he got it legally changed because I think the district wanted it that way. So,
really?
Yeah.
A nickname more or less became his permanent name.
Yep.
Were you mix Tyson up at all?
No.
Something cooler like Yukon?
No. Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm sticking with Tyson.
How much do your parents mean to you? It's like so cool to see them in the stands, and they'll even sneak into some of the press conferences afterwards. And I noticed after one of the recent home games, man, you see there was a bunch of the Degenhart family here. It sounds like, I think your dad said you guys bought a townhouse here.
Yeah.
The more we hear the Degenharts committing to Boise, the more Bronco Nation go ahead, smile, and certainly appreciate that. How much do they love Boise, and how much do you love the fact that they obviously are willing to come down here and support you?
They mean the world to me. It's funny. My name, like Tyson, Tiffany, and Yukon's son, that's always how I've kind of thought of it. Mm-hmm. But they just mean the world. Like all the sacrifices they made for me to go to play tournaments, whether it was basketball, football, whatever, hockey. It means the world. And they always did a great job of raising me and my sister, and they were the best parents because they knew after a loss not to really talk to me. They gave me my space, mm-hmm. and they never tried to coach me from the sidelines, and I think that's something I really, really appreciate about them. They let the coaches do the coaching, and they're just there to watch and support. And them having a townhouse here now is always great. It gives them another reason to come down and visit my sister and I, and gives them another reason to come and watch some more games.
So is your sis going to Boise State?
She's a freshman this year.
Okay, is she playing any sports? I know she was a volleyball player in high school.
Volleyball and track in high school. She's doing the sports marketing internship, so she's throwing T-shirts to the students during the games, and it's just cool to kind of see her pave her own route here.
So, growing up, did your parents give you, like grooming advice when it comes to your hair?
No, they kind of let me just do my own thing.
Okay, so at what point in time did you decide, my own thing's going to be dreadlocks? Or cornrows, I guess.
Yeah. Honestly, I had long enough hair in like 8th grade, so one night I had my mom braid it just to kind of try it.
Okay.
I always thought about it, and that was pretty cool. And so in high school, I had the long hair, but I did start out with cornrows right away. I waited till our rivalry game. It was at a rival high school, and my mom braided them the day of, and we wore like a jacket, like a sweatsuit to the game, and I wore my hood the whole time until we got to the locker room, and then all my teammates kind of looked at me like, "Oh, you got your hair braided," and the whole student section loved it, and I actually played pretty well in that game. Okay. So ever since then, it stuck, at least for the high school years, and I promised my high school teammates I'd cut it once I got to college, and I'm not going to go back.
Well, hold on here, though. You opened up a bit of a can of worms earlier this year, man.
I know. That's on me. I was just trying to get a feel out, and I took a stats class, and it was like 53-47, but if you round it, it's 50-50. It's inconclusive. We're good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
The percent.
It was not.
God, I almost feel like you need to explain that to me again, because I feel like the overwhelming response was, yeah, let's see Tyson pull out these cornrows again.
It was like 53-47. That's not a big enough margin for me to do it. And the thing that people don't realize, I have to grow my hair out for another year. So it'd have to get to that weird medium phase that everyone hates, that thinks it's terrible.
Is that what? Did you get a haircut recently?
Yeah, during our bye week I did.
Okay, so you're proactively guarding against the possibility of that ever happening.
It's not happening. It's not happening. It was one of those things that someone brought it up when we were in Spokane. I'm like, oh, and I was mic'd up for practice. I'm like, I might as well just say something and see what the people think. Like, I'm just kind of curious. I wasn't gonna actually do it, I don't think.
That's too funny. That's too funny. First off, you're always like on point, right? Like earlier this year, Big CBS comes to town, Clark Kellogg comes to town. You swing them by, the Degenhart Dozen part of your NIL.
Shout out Nate Lowry for that.
I'm a big Mariners fan. So this is an original T-shirt. Where did you get this from?
Got it off eBay.
You bought it off when?
Oh, gosh, a couple months ago.
Okay, God, I thought you were meaning like you were actually trying to get it to well, that would have been too quick to turn around because we just committed to this interview like, I don't know, maybe 24 hours ago.
Not even. It was less than that.
Yeah.
It was after the game.
Yeah, after the game. Not even after.
11 p.m.
A 1995 original Mariners Western Division Championship T-shirt. This is the pinnacle of my sport moments for me. I don't think there's ever going to be anything that ever tops being able to go to the 1995 Divisional Series against the Yankees and seeing the Mariners win it. Nothing will top it for me. Maybe if the Mariners win the World Series.
Okay, I was going to say, if the Mariners win the World Series, that's got to top it.
That would top it. Okay, that would top it. But still, like being a kid when it happened versus now being an adult that has had to put up with losing season after losing season forever, maybe I'll get there. But I remember Edgar hitting that ball, hitting into the left field corner, Karam's up, off. Gerald Williams is the left fielder, and I remember looking down, and I'm like, holy crap, how is Griffey already almost to third, and he's going to score? And that was the pinnacle of sport for me in terms of my memories, man. But you're always on brand. Growing up, who's your NBA team? Sonics were gone. Like, do you remember the Sonics?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember having like a Luke Ridnour jersey or a Ray Allen. I had an old Kevin Durant shirt back when he was on the Sonics, but. I kind of went with the Thunder for a while since they moved, and
that breaks my heart a little.
And like now, I don't really have a team. I'm just waiting for the Seattle team to come back.
Yeah.
I'm a Mariners fan. I'm a Seahawks fan. I'm a Kraken fan. I've been a Washington pro sports teams fan, and so don't really have a team. I'm just waiting for that Seattle team to come here pretty soon.
Okay. Do you have an NBA player though? Like, is there a guy out there that you try to model your game after, or you respect? Like, is there anybody like that for you?
I don't necessarily think I model my game after anyone, but a guy I do respect a lot is John Stockton. Growing up in Spokane, and him missing 22 games in 19 years, kind of his longevity, and I've gotten to meet him and talk to him since I've been a senior in high school, and just to hear his stories and see the way he plays basketball and just the way he sees the game is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And some of his records are just untouchable, and just the way he didn't overtrain in the summer. He water skied, he did other things, and he still managed to be the leading assist guy in steals, and made it to the finals twice. Is just a guy I really respect.
He plays very different positions than you, unless you consider the New Mexico game where you brought the ball up the court, in a massive upset win over the Lobos. What do you take from his game, and I guess try to how can I utilize this in my game?
Well, just the way he plays at the pick and roll and what he sees the whole floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something I can definitely get better at is when I'm in the post, being able to pass out of it better and just seeing the whole floor, seeing where the defense is coming from and different ways like that. And I think passing is just an underrated skill that's not really taught as much anymore.
Mm-hmm. Let's have a little fun with this now, okay? Quickly explain the Degenhart Dozen. What is it? Where did it come from? And why is it, meaningful to you, I guess?
It's funny. I think I found a tweet. I think it was from Derek Morales, so shout out Derek. It talked about Degenhart donuts, and I happened to see it and saved it, and I went to Mike Walsh, and I'm like, okay, this is a good idea. It kind of rolls off the tongue, and he found Pastry Perfection, and we got a little deal, and so we have the Degenhart Dozen. It's 4 chocolate bars with sprinkles, 4 maple bars, and 4 glazed donuts. Very simple. I think any person would find a donut in that dozen that they'd like. And my roommates love them.
Your roommates, real quick about this. Your roommates are just your high school buddies?
Yeah. I've known one of them. One of them's been my best friend since kindergarten. We were in the same kindergarten class and grew up together. And it's cool to have him, in the same house and just grow up together. And
Did they choose Boise State because of you?
I don't know that, but one of them wanted to play golf down at a JUCO in California, and he had visited a couple times, and he didn't really like it down there, and he had visited Boise enough times to like it, so he transferred in. And the other three, I think once I committed to Boise, they kind of opened up their ideas, like, oh, maybe this is a place that they want to go. I know they visited other schools, but everything worked out the way it did, and I'm so thankful for it.
And they crushed Degenhart Dozens.
Yeah, they love them.
Big fan. Okay, well, we're going to have a little fun with this one for you, Tyson. We're going to go with our version of the Degenhart Dozen.
Okay.
What are the 12 things that you simply cannot live without? These objects play a big role in your life. So, like, you can, your phone, whatever. This is up to you. But what are the 12 things that Tyson Degenhart cannot live without?
Shoot, it's tough. 12's a big number.
It is a big number.
We can get to it. I'll start with my phone.
Okay.
Obviously, got to communicate with people somehow.
How often do you get on your phone and it's like, Tyson, you increased your screen time this week?
I turn that off.
Okay. You don't need to be reminded of it?
Nope.
Are you on it a lot?
Probably more than I should. I'm not on it. I try not to be on it that much.
Okay.
But,
who on the team is the guy that if you ever got that, you'd be like, you spend 12 hours a day on your phone?
Oh,
who's that guy?
I wouldn't be surprised if it's like Andrew or someone like that.
Andrew Meadow?
Yeah, he has a big Instagram following.
He does.
He's over. Or it's Sam Winter. Sam's always on the grind.
Sam?
Well, Sam's got his TikTok grind. He got to film stuff and do all that. I mean, you've seen his Instagram following has jumped in the last.
He's doing some cool stuff.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Sam because Sam's a big fan of the Mariners.
Yeah, you gotta love Sam.
Okay, all right. So we got the phone,
and we got Sam Winter, 11-0 when he plays.
Damn right we do.
Yes. And
that is one stat that I proudly will claim that
you will claim.
I searched. There's other stats I'm not gonna claim, but that's one I will claim. Okay, so we got a phone, so we got 11 more things to go.
I'll do my computer. You got to get schoolwork done somehow.
Okay.
Right?
Are you Apple or Windows?
Apple.
Okay.
I don't know where to go because you could obviously go the food route, but then I don't.
What's your favorite food?
I'm a big pizza guy.
Okay.
I like pizza. So
do you have pizza once a week?
I would say, yeah. We had pizza after the game.
Okay.
So I'll go pizza. I'll go chocolate milk. I'll go, obviously, a basketball.
Okay.
I'll kind of collect it in my shoe collection.
You got a shoe collection?
Kind of. I wouldn't say it's that great. It's decent.
What's your, Jordans, not something else?
I got some Jordans in there. I'm a big fan of, the Nike Dunks.
Okay.
I want to get a pair of Jordan 11s, but they're just so expensive where it's like,
God, if only you went to a Nike school that could probably help you out with that.
I wish. Well, they're just hard to get, man.
They are.
That resale market, it's hard.
Yeah, and sneakers is rigged.
It is rigged. I tried to get those Kobe's, both pairs of Kobe's, and
What size shoe are you?
15.
Gosh, you should be the one that could actually hit on these because you have a unique shoe size.
What's funny is I'm actually looking for, it's the Air Max 90 Griffey, swingman.
Yeah.
I've never been able to find them. I found one on eBay, and it's really hard not to it's a little bidding war right now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to.
Man, I like to hear that you're interested in shoes because I kind of always figured because we talked about in the most complimentary way possible. A little boring, you never.
I always wear team colored shoes.
I felt like when it's like, hey everybody, what shoes do you want? You look out there and people got their unique Kobe's and they mix it up, and I feel like you were like, what's the team issued shoe? Cool, I'm good with that. Is that the way that it goes?
Yeah, I mean, if they still made PG6s, I would wear those almost every game.
Okay. Did you wear those as a freshman?
I wore the PG5s as a freshman.
Okay.
And then I wore the GT Cuts last year, and I've kind of gone back and forth between the PGs and the GT Cuts this year.
Okay.
But I don't really feel the need to, go out and buy a pair of basketball shoes when they give us plenty of shoes. I have bought in a couple pairs of them, like my black GT Cuts I've bought.
Okay.
but those are still very team-issued colors. They're black and orange or black and blue.
Okay, so we're halfway home.
Halfway home, okay. Honestly, this will be kind of like a trifecta.
Okay.
It'll be the Mariners, the Seahawks, and the Kraken.
Love it.
Because, I played all three of those sports growing up. I enjoy watching them. And
played hockey growing up?
I played 3 years of hocking.
Were you good at it?
I was okay. I wouldn't say I was great, but it was funny. We were talking in the locker room one day about joking around. Like, we played softball earlier this year, like coaches versus players, and someone brought up hockey, and Coach Rice didn't know I had played hockey, and I don't know how he didn't know. I'm pretty sure I'd mentioned it to him, but my dad was my coach for 3 years. It was a lot of fun, but the only issue was it conflicted with basketball season, so I had to miss a couple basketball tournaments, and just enjoyed basketball a lot more, and so. But it was definitely fun to play hockey and understand the game, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Okay. I know you're a softball fan too, because we always see you out there. But we're down to 3 things.
3 things.
3 things.
I'll go my hat collection. I have like
good hat collection.
I have like 100 hats.
Yeah, you have a good hat collection. I'll give you that for sure.
What else? Well, I can't live without Brooke.
Okay.
Brooke, and then last one I'll put my family kind of like and kind of tie it all up.
Such a good guy.
So there's your 12.
For those that don't know, Brooke plays softball for the Boise State softball team.
Well, I don't know when this aired, but they played a night at 5. They played McNeese State, so I'll be tuned in.
How cool is that though? Like, you guys are both athletes playing at Boise State.
It's a lot.
You guys meet here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a lot of fun to go to her games, but this month of like her traveling with me traveling, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, she left. They were in Arlington, and then they're going to Louisiana, and when they get back, I'm traveling down to Colorado Springs, and it'll probably be like 10 or 11 days where we won't see each other, and then that one day, and then she leaves the next, and this month and a half, 2 months is hard because we don't see each other as much, but the other 10 months make it all worth it. Supporting each other in whatever way we can.
What did Tyson Degenhart do for Valentine's Day?
I got her a little basket. You can talk to Mary Burns. I ran into her at Fred Meyer when I was buying some stuff. But
okay.
I got her some things that I know she likes, and just made a little basket. Didn't have to, I'm not a big over-the-top guy. I just want to get something that I know she likes.
Yeah.
And throw a little basket there, throw a card in there, and that's about it.
Gosh, Tyson Degenhart to a T, right? Team-issued colored shoes, on point. Now we no longer have the cornrows.
Nope.
We don't get in trouble. What more can you say? Tyson's been a lot of fun. Only a couple weeks to go here in the regular season, man. What is the best part about playing basketball in late February and into March?
I mean, we're less than 4 weeks away from Selection Sunday, so it's getting down to the wire, and we realize that every game matters.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take any of these teams lightly, and even though every win counts the same as the win column, each win is so important. Because you just can't have that loss. I know we're kind of flirting with the bubble with some team, with some bracketologists or whatever, but I think our resume is better than people give us credit for.
Yeah.
We just got to continue to win games, and the rest will take care of itself.
I'll leave you with this here. We'll wrap it up. What would it mean to you to be a part of that first team that went to 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments and be on each of those 3 teams along with a guy like Max Rice, probably Sam Winter, there's some other guys out there as well. What would it mean to you to be a part of that?
It'd mean the world, and more than anything, getting that first win. You go down in the history books. I mean, everyone talks about how we're 0-8 in the NCAA tournament. It's kind of the monkey on our back a little bit, and to get rid of that and be a part of a team that goes to the tournament 3 straight years is something I cherish for the rest of my life.
Tyson, you are the man. I appreciate you joining us during a busy time of year. I can't wait to see what the next few weeks hold. And I can't wait for the Mountain West tournament. It's going to be absolutely epic. Everybody's going to bring their boxing gloves because it's just going to everybody throwing haymakers.
And I mean, you talk about those top 7 or 8 teams.
Anyone can win it.
Anyone can win it. I mean, it's all about matchups. I mean, You see the way like New Mexico can like beat all those teams at home by a lot, and then UNLV gets them twice.
Yep.
And you just never know. Like, you San Diego State's beat UNLV. I mean, UNLV beat us. I mean, you do go around the room. You never know.
I'll take my chances with 2 for Boise State, leading the Broncos. Tyson, we appreciate it, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. This is Jay's Sports Bar, serving the Idaho sports community.